Hey everybody, so in today's quick tip, we're going to talk about how to create wireframe geometry when using a section view. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing is, where do you find section view and what does it do? Well, if we go to Create 2D, under the Utilities section, we'll find section view. And section view will give you a cutaway view of your model so you can see internal features. Now, the other side of this is with this cutaway view, you can also generate wireframe where this intersection plane intersects with your model. Okay, so you can move it into position and then you can click create wireframe. And what that will do is create geometry based on the intersection of that plane and that model. So that's our first tip. The second one is how to use chain selection. Okay, so in this case, we have some wireframe geometry. If we right click and we go to entity summary here, this will tell you all of the entities that are made up in the file. And we'll notice that we now have some lines and arcs, and we also have all these surfaces that are associated with our solid. Okay, so when it comes to the lines or arcs, we want to utilize chain selection. That's when the entities are contiguous, and instead of selecting them all individually, we can select them all at one time. So I'm going to go to selection mode, and what I want to do is select this chain, but you'll notice that the face is blocking my selection of the chain or the wireframe. Okay, the face gets priority. So what we're going to do is left click into the CAD screen and hit S on our keyboard. And what that does is toggle the shading of the surfaces on or off. This way we can see through them. The next thing for a chain selection, see if you just left click on the geometry, it's only going to select a single entity at a time, a line or an arc, or a spline or a point. But if you hold shift and you left click on the entity, if there are any other entities connected or chained to it, those will get selected as well. And a chain is just entities that are trimmed at points of intersection and are contiguous or continuous, right? Contiguous. So we're going to hold shift and left click our other inside chain here, and you can see it selects all those entities all the way around. Now, the last thing we want to do is move this geometry to its own layer so we can isolate it. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing we'll do is right click in the layer window and we'll click add new layer. All right, we'll give it a name, W1, and enter. Now we still have our geometry selected. So if we didn't have geometry selected, we would select it. Once selected, we'll right click and choose modify attributes. And this is where you can change the color, the line style, or the layer. In this case, we're going to go to layer and then we'll choose which layer we want it on and we'll choose OK. And now what you can see is we can isolate just that geometry. We can turn off the other layers and just be able to view that single layer. So those are today's quick tips. Hopefully you guys found this information useful. If there's any CAD features you would like to see added to the software or questions about a CAD feature in the software, just comment in the section of wherever this video may be posted. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next live event, live training every Wednesday. So we'll see you there. Thanks, guys.